Okay, welcome to the session on type conversion. It's a small session. Type conversion. What do you mean by type conversion? What do you mean by type conversion and why it is needed? Why it is needed? What way we are going to do convert from one form to other form? There are two ways. What are those two ways? That we are going to discuss in this session. Type conversion. Let us take an example. Suppose you have 3 plus 4 star 5.6 is there. What is the result? So will how this 5.6 is taken? Is it taken as 5 or only as 5.6? Only as 5.6. So computers have ambiguity. Whenever you have this data of different data types. Whenever you have data of different data types, computers will get confused. And programming languages will support it in different ways. Support it in different ways. So if the operands are of different types, then certain conversions may be required. If the operands are of different types, then it is called as mixed mode arithmetic. If the operands are of different types, then it is called mixed mode arithmetic. There are two ways of conversion. One is implicit type conversion. The other one is explicit type conversion. Implicit and explicit. Implicit type conversion is otherwise called as type coercion also. Whereas explicit type conversion can be otherwise called as just simply type conversion. So implicit type conversion, explicit type conversion are there. The general rule, before we get into the type conversion procedures, the general rule is that use widening rule. There are two rules actually, widening rule and narrowing rule. Narrowing rule. So the highly recommended one is follow the widening rule. So look at it carefully. Widening rule says that if the size of the two operands is size type 1 and size type 2, then if size of type 1 is greater than or equal to size of type 2, then second operand type is converted to first operand type. This is type and time. First operand type and vice versa. So that means you take two operands, whose size is greater. Now if the size of this is greater and the size of this one is less, then do convert this one to this type. So if the size of this one is greater, the size of this one is less, so this one is converted to this type. So that is the widening rule. Suppose if you take integer and floating point, integer occupies say 4 bytes, let us assume, or integer and double, let us take. The integer occupies 4 bytes, whereas double occupies 8 bytes. Now if you have two operands, one is of type integer, the other one is of type double, then what the widening rule says that? Widening rule says convert the integer to double. So please remember that rule. Usually you don't find it in the programming language textbooks. You don't find that rule. Maybe in some principles of programming language books you may find it. So simply if you remember the widening rule, that's enough. That's enough. In case of any ambiguity, you can just apply the widening rule. So two types of conversion: implicit type conversion, otherwise called as type coercion. Implicit means system automatically converts from one type to another type. So how? So it follows just simply the widening rule. If both operands are floating point, then float and double, that is float and double, then float is converted to double and the result is also in double. Also, float and long double will result in a long double. That means if float is there, long double is there, float will be converted to long double and the result will also be long double. Double, long double are there, then double is converted to long double. Also, if char and int are there, char will be converted to int. If char and float are there, char will be converted to float. If char and double are there, then char will be converted to double. And also if int float are there, usually int is converted to float and int is also converted to double. When long int is also there, if int is there and long int is there, int will be converted to long int. So these implicit conversions may vary from compiler to compiler, but 99% of the cases that widening rule is used. Widening rule is used. Explicit type conversion. Explicit type conversion. That means, okay, whatever may be the type conversion that is permitted by the language, you are not interested in it. You want to forcefully, or you want to have your own conversion. So that can be done by just writing like this. General format of conversion is data type expression. So whatever may be the type of the expression. So again here the expression can be a simple constant like 4 or a plus b, whatever it be. So the general rule is, if you have expression, if you want to convert it into some other type, then that type is enclosed in the parentheses before the expression. So data type is the type to which we want to convert. Data type is the type to which you want to convert. So example is given, int 4.3. That means this 4.3 is converted to integer, that is the fractional part is removed, 4 will remain. So it will get 4. This type of conversion is also known as casting, typecasting, casting. So using the expressions of this form, you can convert any expression to the expression of your choice. So the data type associated with the expression itself is not changed. Whatever may be the expression, the data type. So suppose say float b is there, float b is there, float b is there, float b is there, and which is say 4.3. And if you convert it into b, integer to integer, so if you write like this, that means you are converting integer into b. So b type is not changed. B will be floating one only, but its value will be converted. Value will be, instead of 4.3, it will be 4. But data type will not be converted. But remember, you have to be careful, because you are converting 4.3 to 4, that means fractional part is lost. So it is resulting in the truncation. So when double is converted to float, it may result in loss of precision. So you should remember those points. So this is regarding the conversion. We'll take these examples as part of programming exercise. So we will do it. So Shubham Bhuya. Thank you. This is the end of the module 5. This is the end of the module 5. Shubham Bhuya. God bless you. me and you also. Thank you.